Hello and welcome to the Collapse Experiment. Oh, chicken wars. Chicken wars. No, this isn't KFC versus Popeyes versus Chick-fil-A, okay? This is regarding a few things we have going on currently. I just saw an article where 2 more counties in Michigan are reporting bird flu. What was it, H5N1? We had that case down in Louisiana where somebody contracted a really bad version of it, and they're saying, hey, this looks like it is human now, which isn't good. We also have a bunch of hospitals over in India and China that are reporting numbers of people coming in to the point where they're full. They don't have the staff or the beds to deal with them. Almost all of them are reporting the same form of walking pneumonia. And, yeah. Meanwhile, here where I live, it is a chicken slaughter fest. I don't know how the people I live around do this with the free-range chickens roaming around on the property, because I have gone from, in the last 2 years, I've gone from anywhere between 25 to 30 chickens down to the 6 that I have now. It's like a non-stop slaughter, and I get a lot of flack, especially from my wife, about how I don't properly secure them. It's like they're fenced in. They have a coop. They've got netting over them to keep hawks and whatnot out. Like, aside from just putting them in a freaking jail cell, I don't know what more I could do. And when you're dealing with other things such as weasels, yes, weasels, technically the one that I caught back, actually that was last year, was a mink. Same species, I guess. So I catch this mink. And the thing with weasels and minks are that you've got any type of space in your coop. I mean, they'll squeeze right through chicken wire, no problem. The issue is they kill your chicken, and they usually run off with the head. They'll either eat the shit out of the neck in front of everybody, like a damn vampire, or they'll just rip the head off and leave the rest of the body. Which, that really just pisses me off. The other things I've had to deal with, skunks. Yes, skunks will eat your chickens. Raccoons are notorious because if, just like the mink or the weasel, they will reach through any type of fencing or barrier if they can get their arm in, and they will grab your chicken's leg and pull on it to the point where the leg breaks, and then your chicken's dead anyways, and they don't even get the chicken. It's literally just chicken vandalism by asshole raccoons. So, skunks, raccoons, mink, oh yeah, hawks. Remember that netting I was talking about? Well, apparently a half-blind hawk. What's that phrase? It's like the eye of a hawk. No, this one, which I also caught, I didn't catch it. When I found it, it was dead. I think one of the roosters got to it, beat the shit out of it, or it tried. Again, I'm thinking this hawk was blind because, for one, it dive bombed itself into the netting on top of the run. So that happened. it also hit one of the traps that I put on top of the coop. So I'm thinking it landed on the coop, set off one of the traps, and then it tried dive bombing one of the chickens. And when it did that, I don't know, it ends up in the coop. It kills one of my oldest chickens that I've had since 2020. One of the last of the Rhode Island Reds that I've got. The only one that's left is the rooster. There's no more eggs from the Rhode Island Reds. And then it ends up in the coop where I find the dead hen, the dead hawk, and the top of the coop has wire netting around it. And my guess is it tried to fly out of the coop. Maybe it broke its neck. I don't know. But this is all the time. There's like a few weeks of calm. Then there's the which it had to have been coyotes, because there was a huge hole that was ripped in the chicken wire, which chickens can't get through. I know other things can, but this was like pried and torn. And there was 2 hens that were missing. One of them I found remains of about 10 yards away from the coop. So I think happened is the coyotes, either one jumped in, or they were able to somehow grab a hen and, like, because you can tell that the chickens were pulled through this fence. It was very obvious. I don't know how they did that. I mean, they do work in packs, so maybe a couple were on the other side of the run and scared them to the other side, and one grabbed it and ripped it through. I don't know. But between dealing with that all the time, now the state has to step in and make things harder. Okay? I have a feeling this coming year, we're not even going to be allowed to buy chicks. I have a feeling spring is going to come, and because of H5N1, they're going to say, nope, all sales of chicks are prohibited due to the spread of this virus, blah, blah, blah. So, I've got my 6 birds. And this time of year, they're not laying a damn thing. And then to top it off, starting tomorrow, which stores have already started, but starting tomorrow, cage-free eggs are the only thing that you can buy in the store. Because that sounds like the workings of an open capitalistic society. No, this is bullshit. This is a fucking cult taking over our government and dictating policy by what they believe to be, in their opinion, morally right. Now, I've raised, oh shit, what do they call them? The big meat birds. I forget what the hell their actual name is now. The white ones. And the neighbor kid, he does 4-H, and he was talking about how he was going to raise some meat birds for 4-H, and how he was reading in on the standards for what is needed, how much space they need, and he's like, do you know how much space these birds need? Which apparently I was giving them way too much space. He's like, all they need is 1 square foot. 1 square foot per bird is what 4-H is teaching future farmers of America. And it's been the standard forever. Like, these birds, they're genetically bred to be huge, right? I mean, some of these birds are like 10 pounds. Birds are not meant to be heavy. Birds are lightweight creatures. They're supposed to fly around. The heavier they are, the harder it is for them to fly, right? But no, these birds in particular, you don't really want them walking around. Their bones are lightweight and hollow, yet they pack on all this muscle. The bones don't have time to adapt to it. Sometimes the bones break just from the weight. And people are going to say, well, that just sounds cruel. So what's the answer here? Because they exist. That's the thing. You go to your Chick-fil-A, you go to your KFC. What do you think you're eating? Like, these birds were created for a purpose. And if you think it's so cruel, well, I guess the only answer is to just wipe them out so that they don't exist anymore. It's like pugs. Pugs were designed to look a certain way. They're very lovable creatures. People like how they look, and yet they can't breathe. They have sleep apnea because they have absolutely no nose to breathe through. Oh, that's just cruel. That's horrible. What can we do about that? There's nothing. There's nothing you can do about it. Like, do you have an answer? It's a bunch of people always constantly getting pissed off about certain things that they learn about. Oh, we need to change that. Sometimes you just learn about things for the sake of learning it. Doesn't mean that you have to be an activist and go out there and do something about it. Because a lot of times these activists don't know shit about what they're talking about. So now, and I can just hear it already. Like, I know these arguments took place when it came to this cage-free egg policy bullshit. It's that, well, the other companies, they'll just end up following our guidelines if they want to sell in the state. No, they're going to sell in other states is what they're going to do. And places like Indiana and Ohio will end up becoming like egg smuggling operations. Holy shit, they got 79-cent dozen eggs. Oh my god, can we get like 50 dozen? We got friends we can sell these to. Eggs are going to become the cigarettes of the 2020s thanks to these assholes. And then there's people like me who have some chickens. I have some chickens. And at some point, some asshole is going to come on the property and be like, we need to inspect your chickens. And I'm like, do you have a warrant? We're sent by the state. Do you have a warrant? We're authorized. Do you have a warrant? And that questioning is going to continue until either they leave or fists are thrown. Because I do not tolerate motherfuckers coming onto my property acting like they own the shit and think that their dick is bigger than mine. They want a cockfight, they will get slapped across the face with mine. So yeah, people like me who have chickens, they're going to become an issue. I have 6 chickens. 6. When I had the issue with the mink, I had somebody, a friend, an acquaintance, however you want to label it, who got very pissed off at me, saying, I would have picked it up, I would have taken it out of there. There was no reason to do that. It killed 4 of my birds. It was just doing what it was meant to do. Okay, dude with 3 German Shepherds. Dude who claims to love their German Shepherds. German Shepherds who do absolutely fucking nothing for you, by the way. They don't produce food for you. They don't really protect you. You just think it's cool to have them. It's not like they provide an income. They're not a job, okay? You just have them for the sake of having them. But you go out camping or hiking in the mountains, and a mountain lion comes along and looks at one of your German shepherds and says, "That looks like a tasty snack." Now, while it's attacking your German shepherd and about to run off with it, do you attempt to protect your German shepherd by shooting the mountain lion, or do you just say, "Oh, darn, it's just being a mountain lion. Bye, Sparky, I loved you"? I don't understand the logic of some people. How is it your dog is more important than the animals who feed me, and in return, I protect them? Pull your head out of your ass and stop being a dick. So, chicken wars. Chicken wars are coming. It's going to be tough. And quite frankly, there's 2 more years of this bitch in office. I've had enough. I unfortunately voted for her the first time. I've admitted that before, and I'll admit it now. It's important for us to admit our mistakes, but it doesn't mean you have to stay married to them. No. This chick needs to go. And when you have policies like this being put in place, which don't make things more affordable, for one, they don't think about the constituents at all. They're just like, this is bonus points for our liberal left. Yay, the green hairs are going to be so happy with us. Meanwhile, the rest of the population, the majority of the population is like, what the are you doing? Shit already went up in price because of blow Biden. You can figure out what the blow part stands for. You've already got inflation because of that, and then you add to it by messing with the food system. Well, you know what? If something's not broke, you don't fix it. There's a difference between improving upon something that already exists and horribly messing it up. And for some reason, these assholes don't know the difference. So I don't know who paid for this policy to be put in place, because let's face it, these laws don't get passed, they don't get written because some politician is like, this is a good idea that will help the American dream. No. It's some corporation, some band of assholes that go to a politician and say, we will fund your campaign. You will never have to worry about re-election again, as long as you write this bill and get it passed, because it's what we want. And for some reason, this whole shit show of a circus continues on for no reason. Absolutely no reason. I can't figure. There's no logic to this whatsoever, other than assholes getting rich, the people getting screwed, and then we find ourselves in a situation where shooting a CEO who's personally responsible for the deaths of 40,000 American lives a year due to his policies and how he ran his company, is an act of terrorism. To shoot that man in the back in the street is an act of terrorism. But setting a woman on fire in a subway while she's sleeping, that's just murder. Come on. I mean, really? It couldn't have hurt that bad. I mean, she's just standing there. I mean, the cop didn't even try to put her out. So, I mean, It's not as bad, right? I mean, come on. It was an impulse. It wasn't premeditated. Jeez. Can you tell I'm pissed off? I'm so horribly fucking pissed off at our system right now. Federal charges, act of terrorism. Really? Okay. You know, when I was in school, we used to, I'm sure you guys played this game. If you could go back in time and smother baby Hitler in the crib and prevent tens of millions of people dying in the future, would you do it? Now take that to a terrorist, okay? If you could go back in time and baby so-and-so, who you know is going to kill 40,000 people a year just so that he can get rich, would you do it? Now, it's a question. There's all kinds of debates. Is it moral? Is it immoral? Whose life is more valuable than others? You don't know how baby Hitler's going to turn out. Okay. You forgot the whole time traveling aspect of the game. But yeah. Terrorism. It's an act of terror. Everything is a fucking act of terrorism these days. I'm surprised that guy that was spraying bug killer on food just to make a stupid ass TikTok video. Was that an act of terrorism? I mean, how many people was he looking at poisoning? In what reality is that considered funny or entertaining? Like, what is going on here? Is this what mental illness has dived into? Anyways, that's about it for me today. I'm sure this video is going to get me in trouble somewhere with someone, somehow. So, anyways, keep on typing.